from the Siegel Center at VCU in Richmond. It's time for state championship basketball. This afternoon, it's the 2015 Group 2A Boys Championship between the Martinsville Bulldogs and the Dan River Wildcats. A very pleasant good afternoon to you, along with my partner Demetrius Means. I'm Gary Hassett. We're glad you've joined us for this game between two teams that know each other very, very well. They've already played twice during the season, each winning once, which means this is a rubber match. And what more would you want on the line than a state title?
Absolutely. You called it the rubber match. That's exactly what it is, Gary. Both teams will be up and ready, but the big thing about tonight, it's all for keeps.
Martinsville's a storied program, a VHSL record 13 state championships, a record 17th final appearance, but Dan River is the Johnny-come-lately. They're the defending champs, winning last year, and a couple of the key players from that team are back. Now, as we look at the matchup, let's take the Bulldogs first, and the key player is Devontae Holland, averaging 26 points and 15 rebounds a game.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible stat right there, and that young man has really turned his game up a notch.
He's inside, the four guys on the outside, Jay Dandridge, Cameron Bradley, Xanthus Hairston, and Curtis Pilson, but they'll be looking to feed the big fella inside Devontae Holland as he tries to have another big game for Martinsville today. Now, Dan River, the opponent, coming off a win over Martinsville in the regional tournament, is the defending champion. Couple of key guys from that team last year, Curtis Stevens and Trey Edmonds.
Yeah, both of those guys are the dynamic duo combination. They're both going to have to get off to a good start. They can ill afford to have slow starts in a game like this, and when they get going, so does Dan River.
Edmonds will draw that defensive matchup against Devontae Holland, and Stevens, a huge presence with the ball in his hands. He had 28 points last year in the state championship game. The rest of the starting lineup, Ian Cully at guard, also Kasim Casey and Quantrez Terry. As you can see, fans from both teams are here in force to cheer on their teams to victory. Who will come out victorious for the 2A West to the 2A championship? It'll either be the Martinsville Bulldogs or the Dan River Wildcats. As we look at the keys to the game now, Demetrius, let's start with Martinsville. And we mentioned don't be intimidated. When they met a couple of weeks ago, they backed down a little bit.
Yeah, you can't afford that. You got to come out right from the top, set the stage, and have a lot of energy.
8 for 17 from the free throw line for Martinsville in that same game. They've got to convert at the charity stripe.
Yeah, you have to put the ball in the cup. You've got to make sure you get those foul shots. That's very important, especially down the stretch of the game.
For Dan River, Martinsville plays a 2-3 zone. Dan River needs to attack that zone and not be passive.
Yeah, that's going to mean a lot of good rotation and good foot movement.
And, of course, with the big fella inside, you got to feed him the ball, right?
Yes, give the big man the ball. It all starts down low on the paint. Give the big man the ball.
But Devontae Holland needs to get his touches, and that's what Martinsville is going to need to do. We are getting ready to tip it up here at the Siegel Center between Martinsville and Dan River, state championship style here in Richmond. Jeff Atkins is the coach for Martinsville. He's in his third year. Atkins, of course, played at Martinsville and then was a star at Maryland. The coach for Dan River, in the meantime, is Kenny Murphy, and of course winning that state championship last year. Devontae Holland will jump it against Kasim Harris, and it is Dan Martinsville who gets the ball first. Jay Dandridge on the handle, man-to-man defense for Dan River. Into the corner, Cameron Bradley inside. There's a touch for Holland, back outside, he gives it up. Four guys on the perimeter and the big fella inside. Holland with another touch. Edmonds man-to-man, it's no good. Going for the rebound, which is handled by Quantrez Terry.
Great defense that time by Dan River, but they turn around and lose it.
Unforced error right off the bat. They got to maybe chalk that up to some pregame jitters here on the championship stage. Early in the going, no score. Jay Dandridge will handle the ball, but a lot of guys on the perimeter. Now a drive down the lane. Drive no good. Holland with the rebound. Goes up, and the stick back is good.
Well, right there, Holland's not looking intimidated. He went right to the rack for the quick two.
Yeah, it did. Where it's going to bear watching how Holland does in that matchup with Tremaine Edmonds. On the attack, down the lane, in and out, no good. Edmonds with the rebound, whistle and a foul, and he'll get 2.
Edmonds doing a nice job clearing out some space for that offensive rebound, put it up. He's a strong kid, but he's going to have a big game here today. There you see that the shot, and then here comes Edmond, and he puts it right back up, but not able to finish.
Edmonds headed to Virginia Tech to play football, joining his brother's first free throw up and good.
Edmond with such great body strength, but they want to hope that he can finish a lot more at the bucket.
Second free throw also good, nothing but net, a 2-2 tie early on. Dandridge, the point guard for the Bulldogs, gives it up to Hairston. Pilson drives, free throw line, jumper off the rim, no. Holland tries to get the offensive rebound, and Dan River clears it.
Dan River doing a good job boxing out so far.
Q Stevens, the quarterback of this offense. Stevens looks inside, and it's stolen away by Bradley. Bradley tries to go coast to coast, and he's fouled.
Well, that time Bradley knew it was going to be a foot race, and he got right out in front. He caught the defender backing up and was able to draw the foul.
You know, the interesting thing, these two teams on the fast break are used to beating the opponent, but against each other, that's not going to happen. You have to be prepared to protect the ball because you know somebody's going to be there to defend you.
Absolutely. It's a matter of getting back also on the defensive end.
Cameron Bradley now dips and flips. First one good. Cameron Bradley not nervous by the moment, smile on his face as he got ready to shoot that free throw. Second one good. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs.
The Wildcats are going to have to find a way to generate a lot of points tonight if they're going to win this one.
Martinsville won in a Christmas tournament against Dan River. Dan River won in the regional. The winner tonight takes the big trophy.
Martinsville in a good 2-3 zone. They're collapsing well so far.
2-3 zone is the signature of the Bulldogs. They'll play it all day long. Long three-point attempt, long, no good, and the rebound by Dandridge. Now there's a scrum for it. Going to be a held ball, and I believe it'll go to Dan River.
So far, Martinsville causing Dan River to be very uncomfortable, taking a step too far back on that jump shot.
Wildcats will trigger under their own basket. Edmonds on the catch will dribble out and give it to Stevens. Ian Cully now at the top of the key. Cully to Stevens, he'll shoot the long three, just long, and the rebound taken by Kasim Harris.
That time nobody boxed out for the Bulldogs. Rivers gets it back.
Isn't that sometime a danger in a 2-3 zone to transition to box out positioning? Now driving inside, there's the whistle and the foul. And if that's on Dandridge, that could be too early on.
Pilsen that time really forced the issue, got bailed out by the call. Then River will retain.
Nope, they'll call the foul on Cameron Bradley, his first. Dan River will trigger. Out deep to Cully. Cully drives to 13 feet, shot long, no good. Martinsville clear. Here come the Bulldogs into the offensive zone. Kick ball, they'll inbound it. Martinsville was trying to get it inside to Holland there once again. Bulldogs with an early 2-point lead. Neither team shooting it well so far. Some pregame jitters. You would expect that in the state championship.
Yeah, the Bulldogs want to pull it out and try to reset. They want to try to pull that Dan River out of that zone.
Now they'll attack. Jeff Atkins gave him the signal to go. Gets it into Holland. Holland kicks it back out. driving the lane, going in for the layup. Holland with the stick back, and it's going to be missed as well. Rebound cleared by Trey Edmonds. Tremaine Edwards gives it up. Stevens in the corner to Terry. Back out to Stevens. Jovian Reynolds has checked in the game for Dan River.
Both of these teams know each other very well.
Martinsville and Danville not very far apart. These teams used to playing each other, but not on this stage. Loose ball and a timeout by Jeff Atkins, and Martinsville will retain.
Dan River not doing a good job in controlling the basketball here early on.
Okay, 4-2. Bulldogs lead it early on at the Siegel Center in Richmond. We'll be right back.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
Timeout. Martinsville brings it up, attacking with a 2-point lead. Pilson on the dribble. Martinsville comfortable at the deliberate pace in the half court. Dandridge drives to 16 feet. His jumper no good. Fighting for the rebound. They may have gotten Edmonds for going over the top.
Yeah, that time Holland did a nice job boxing out, and Edmonds went right over the top. So far, Holland not showing any signs of being intimidated.
Martinsville will trigger under the basket. Inside to Holland, who gives it back to Pilson. Entry pass. Holland goes both ways, up and in.
Oh, that's a strong move. Got the ball on a low post and was able to spin inside and get the bucket.
Holland with 4 of Martinsville's 6, and it's a 4-point lead. Curtis Q. Stevens on the handle. Swing to the left side to Reynolds. Edmonds back to Stevens. Now Edmonds will shoot from distance, in and out, no good. Rebound cleared by Pilson. Martinsville will go in transition and now set up the offense.
And this time the Bulldogs set up way out, almost toward the half-court line.
One step inside the three-point line. Jumper long by Hairston. Wildcats come the other way. Reynolds gives it to Stevens. Stevens, the pull-up from 15 is long. Rebound to Pilson, and he goes quickly the other way. Great transition defense that time by Dan River, forces the turnover.
Yeah, that time Pilson was also a little bit out of control, and he lost the ball due to the defense of the Wildcats. Neither team really impressing anybody here early on with their offense.
No, it has not been easy. It has not been offense that's easy on the eyes. In fact, nearly 6 minutes in, Dan River sitting on 2 points. Q. Stevens on the handle. He can fill it up. 28 points in the state championship game last year, averaging over 9 a game this season.
Dan River trying to find a gap in that armor of the 2-3 zone of Martinsville.
Can't be passive against the zone, but they're struggling to find a way to attack it.
And the key to that is moving the ball around as quick as possible.
Shot is good. That's how you beat the zone right there. A long 3 by Jovian Reynolds.
Reynolds go a long distance, AT&T.
Inside, another touch for Holland. Kicks it back out. Pilson. Outside to Dandridge. Back to Pilson. Thought about the three and then dribbled and gave it back to Dandridge. Now inside to Holland at the free throw line. Kicks. Open for the three. And it's good. Cameron Bradley. Kind of a set shot. You see that?
That'll raise your eyebrow.
Inside a minute to go first quarter here at the Siegel Center. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. Dan River on the attack. Stevens got the ball to Terry, who drove in, but a foul was called before the drive to the basket, so no shot. And I believe that's going to be the second foul on Cameron Bradley.
And there you see that long jump shot by Bradley Cameron.
So, looks like for Martinsville, Aaron Martin will check in, and let's keep an eye on him. He got hot from outside in the semifinals and scored 21 points. And there's another foul on Martinsville, this time on Xanthus Hairston.
Gary, this is a big game, but you don't see either team really coming out with that big that you were looking for.
Yeah, definitely a feeling out process. Wildcats trying to attack the zone. Martinsville comfortable with the patient approach. Devin Stone has checked in for Dan River. He gives it up back to Stevens. Stone gives it to Stevens.
Martinsville trying to lure the Dan River's trying to lure the Martinsville zone to sleep.
There's a drive. Shot no good. Edmonds crashes the boards. It's broken away. Final seconds of the quarter. Does not get the shot off in time. So 1 quarter in the books in the boys 2A state championship game. Offense hard to come by. Martinsville leads Dan River by a 9-5 score here at the Siegel Center after the first quarter. Let's take a break.
They call these sandwiches? This is a sandwich. Introducing the new Subway Turkey Italiano Melt. Tender oven-roasted turkey breast, robust Genoa salami, smoky, spicy pepperoni. When these big three meet under a blanket of melty provolone with that tangy new Subway vinaigrette, something delicious happens. Only one place to get a fresh toasted sandwich this great on freshly baked bread. The new Turkey Italiano Melt, only at Subway.
Nine to 5 through 1 quarter. Martinsville leading Dan River. And as you look at the first quarter stats, Demetrius, it's neither team lighting it up from the field, right?
Absolutely. Both teams, in fact, both have 9 turnovers for Martinsville and 5 for Dan River. Really nothing to talk about. A lot of energy coming out, but not enough points being put on the board.
Martinsville just 3 for 10 shooting, and Dan River 1 for 8 in the first quarter shooting. So that bears in mind Dan River needs to pick up the pace on offense. Okay, 4-point game. Bulldogs with the lead and the ball. Dandridge drives the lane and has it stripped away by Stevens. Coming the other way, coast to coast, and stripped away by Pilson. Good. And there's a bump foul. That's going to be on Jovian Reynolds. His first. So a steal at one end and then a steal at the other end. Great hustle by Curtis Pilson to catch back up to that fast break and make the steal, send it the other way.
That's something you're going to see here tonight, all night long. Both teams very quick.
Jay Dandridge, the point guard for the Bulldogs. The big fella Holland comes outside. Holland, a 6'7" junior. Shot is up and missed by Aaron Martin. And the Wildcats come the other way. Stevens to Reynolds, back to Reynolds. Long three is off the mark, no good. Pilson with the rebound. Jeff Atkins tells his kids to slow it down. Dan River manning up on defense. Martinsville spreading the floor.
They're going to try and force them into speed up their offense.
Spread that floor, good spacing, creates driving lanes and opportunities to get the ball to Holland. And there's a bump foul. That's going to go on Quantez Terry.
And I got a feeling somebody had a long talk to Holland because he was looking to go to the basket.
Good cut on the inbounds play, but the shot is blocked. Rebound kicks out to Dandridge, who misses the three. Rebound by Martin. Shot is missed. And finally, Dan River takes possession. Edmonds will lead the break. Sends forward to Reynolds, who lays it up, no good. The tip is up and good by Edmonds.
Edmonds high flying right over the top and drops it right in the cup. A lot of kids wouldn't trail the play, but he did.
Martinsville's lead down to 2. Pilson drives, well defended. He'll give it up to Hairston. Pilson, ball fake inside. Gives it to Hairston, who drives in. Cross-court pass for the wide-open three is good. Aaron Martin.
They left Martin wide open, gave him enough time to dial it up.
Sophomore, not a great shooter during the season, but getting hot at the right time. Once again, had 21 points in the semifinal game. Bulldogs lead back to 5. Dan River on the attack. Stevens splits the defenders outside, but runs into a brick wall in the form of Devontae Holland, who blocks it. And then looks like Quantez Terry may have committed the pretty dumb foul.
Well, here you see right over to Martin, and he hits the tray.
Right, great cross-court look there by Xanthus Hairston. Drove, drew the defense, and kicked it across. That foul on Dan River. Looks like it's going to go on Quantez Terry, his second. So that bears watching. He has 2 fouls. So Martinsville with a 5-point lead in the ball. Boys 2A state championship game at the Siegel Center in Richmond. Dandridge drives in, gets an open look from about 8 feet, but it's off the mark and cleared out of there by the athletic Tremaine Edmonds. Good look inside, great collapsing defense, led to a bad pass.
Another steal.
Aaron Martin there to capitalize. Nearing the midpoint of the second quarter, Dan River still in single digits.
They are having a hard time putting points on the board
against that 2-3 zone. Pilson driving down, there's the shot, in and out, no good. Edmonds with the rebound. Coming quickly the other way. Forward the pass, and it is blocked. Athletic play by Martin. Trailing the play, Stevens gets the rebound and draws the foul while on the shot.
Dan River would not have recovered that ball if it had not been for Edmonds. And here they come on the run. There's a shot blocked. And Edmonds able to recover it.
Yeah, great athletic block there. Getting up was Curtis Pilson. But now Stevens will go to the line. Makes the first one. Stevens, a 6'1" senior guard. Part of the experience on this Dan River team. Makes them both. So it's a 12-9 ball game. You know, Martinsville has that 2-3 zone, Demetrius, but, you know, Dan River plays a very athletic, tough man-to-man. Wildcats have held 18 consecutive opponents under 50 points, and Martinsville's not tracking to get 50 today.
And that's a credit to the defense.
Pilson on the drive, and it's swatted away. Nice play that time by Kasim Harris.
The Dan River defense, very aggressive. They overplay a lot.
Holland draws the foul on Harris and will get 2 free throws.
Well, Holland realized that time that he had a mismatch. The taller Holland went right to the rack and was able to draw the foul. That's what you want to see if you're the coach of Martinsville. You want to see him continue to be active.
First foul for Harris, 6th-team foul. Well, big man's got a nice soft touch at the free throw line. Devontae Holland. Gaudy numbers, 26 points, 15 rebounds a game. Second free throw up and good.
He made it look easy.
Give him 6 on the game tonight. You'll notice for Dan River, they substitute a lot, but Stevens and Tremaine Edmonds never leave the floor.
If they get in foul trouble, that would be a problem.
Yes, it would. Long 3. That's going to be short.
Martinsville again with another steal.
Good offensive rebound that time by Dan River's Kasim Harris, but a poorly devised pass across the paint, knocked away, and Martinsville does get the steal. Dandridge, one-on-one move, and draws the foul on Stevens, and will get 3 free throws. Not a smart foul by Stevens.
That's the type of foul that drives a coach crazy, and you wonder why he does it. And here you see, he starts in, stops, and then he pops.
Wasn't much of a foul, but he bumped him with the body.
Just a touch, enough.
First free throw by Dandridge is up and good.
Dandridge, a pretty slick player, knows exactly what he wants to do.
Second free throw also good.
Dandridge has been steady Eddie for Martinsville.
Remember, one of our keys was about free throws, knock on wood, but Martinsville's been doing the job so far.
Absolutely.
So an 8-point lead now for the Bulldogs, their biggest lead of the game. Dan River looking for back-to-back state titles, but in a hole here in the second quarter. Stevens on the right wing, looks to attack, gives it up to Reynolds. Stevens looking for somewhere to drive against that 2-3 zone. Edmonds drives in, gets a good look, misses, goes after his own rebound, and it was touched out of bounds by Cameron Bradley, and the Wildcats will retain possession.
Yeah, that was not the shot that Edmonds really wanted to take. Kind of forced it a little bit, but he took what the defense gave him.
Big man Kasim Harris goes inside, long outside shot. Harris on the tip. Nice play on the tip in by Kasim Harris.
Kasim Harris hanging around the bucket, and he got rewarded for it.
Martinsville drive and kick. A second drive, no good. But there's the rebound, stick back by Holland, but he's too strong. And now it's cleared by Dan River, and here come the Wildcats. Stevens in transition. Martinsville gets the defense and quickly sets up the 2-3 zone.
Whipping the ball around on the perimeter.
Inside Harris, and they're going to call the foul on Martin. Martin thought he got all ball. Fouled him with the body.
That was the best play. There you see, that was with...
that was the Kasim Harris stick back.
But Dan River that time, that was the best time they moved the ball around the perimeter that they've shown so far. Harris got the shot he wanted, but he was fouled.
Now a chance to cut into that Bulldog lead a little more. First free throw long and off.
Kind of strong on that, hit the back of the iron and popped right out of the way.
$1:59 to go before halftime. Martinsville up 6 on Dan River in the 2A Boys State Final. Second free throw is good by Harris. He's got 3. Martinsville in no hurry.
Going to try and force Dan River to play here, make him come out of his own.
With the lead, Pilsen can stand there and dribble until halftime if he wants to. Now they'll come out and play him. Pilsen will attack and kick.
Got away with a walk.
There's the pass, and the foul is going to be called on Martin. And that's going to be a 1-and-1 for Martinsville. Aaron Martin gets the foul. Excuse me, Devin Stone gets the foul. Got my 32s mixed up there.
And Martin will go to the line.
First free throw is good. Martin's got 4. If you coach Jeff Atkins, you got to love the emergence of Aaron Martin coming off the bench late in this season where his offense has really picked up.
Yeah, it has come on at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment.
Closing in on a minute to go in the half.
Points haven't come easy for the Wildcats.
Inside, that zone collapses, and there's a steal. Hairston takes it away. Martinsville in transition. Hairston dishes. Layup is good. Aaron Martin.
How do you like that? Harrison will wrap around his
behind the back, nearly lost control, but then got the ball to Martin. Inside, and Chippy is missed by Harris, and it's going to be out of bounds off of the Wildcats, and the Bulldogs will get it with 42 seconds left.
And here it is. Here comes Harris. Full blast. Drives to the bucket, wraps it around his body, passes it off, and you see the 2. The finish.
Nice play. Held it to the very end and draw that defense, and Martin got an easy layup. Now Dan River will pick up full court. Jay Dandridge handling it, no problem. They're spread. Martinsville may play for the last shot. It's like the old Carolina Four Corners here. Drive, kick. Now Holland will go on in after it. Gets his own miss, and then draws the foul on Quantez Terry. If that's on Terry, that's his 3rd.
Not only that, Devontae Holland really working the offensive glass. Here you see, he puts up the shot, it won't go, and he grabs it right back and goes right back up strong. Can't finish, but he draws the foul. No intimidation factor in regards to him tonight. But he missed that foul shot and hit off the back of the iron. He'll get another.
Bear in mind now, 3 fouls on Quantez Terry. That's one of the key guys inside, along with Edmonds, that's defending against Holland.
You kind of feel, Gary, that Holland is going to have a breakout game here tonight.
Misses both free throws there. Wildcats get the final shot of the half. And there it is, a 3-pointer knocked down, no call. 3-point. Long shot by Holland is no good, and there is the half. We've reached halfway in the boys Division II state title game at the Siegel Center. Martinsville leads Dan River 21-12. We'll be back with halftime activities after this break.
Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage. and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
They call these sandwiches? This is a sandwich. Introducing the new Subway Turkey Italiano Melt. Tender oven-roasted turkey breast, robust Genoa salami, smoky, spicy pepperoni. When these big three meet under a blanket of melty provolone with that tangy new Subway vinaigrette, something delicious happens. Only one place to get a fresh toasted sandwich this great on freshly baked bread. The new Turkey Italiano Melt, only at Subway.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
Time at the Siegel Center in the boys Division II state championship game, and it is Martinsville leading Dan River 21-12. Along with Demetrius Means, I'm Gary Hassett. Demetrius, it was an interesting first half, but it wasn't one for somebody who likes a lot of offense.
Absolutely, a lot of energy, but not many points put on the board. But right now, Martinsville has got the better hand going.
Neither team has been able to shoot the ball very well, but Dan River really having a rough time to the tune of 3 for 19.
Yeah, not only 3 for 19, only shooting 50% field goals. That's not a good sign right there. They've got to do a better job in shooting the basketball.
And we saw Dan River having some jitters early on with the unforced turnovers. 7 turnovers in the first half for the Bulldogs, for the Wildcats. Martinsville didn't get on track very well either, but early on, there's a nice inside move by Devontae Holland. Holland having 6 points, 7 rebounds in the first half, so he's living up to the hype. Even he's had to work for everything he's gotten inside. You'll see Holland here giving it up, and that opens up those outside shots for Martinsville. But you know Jeff Atkins would like to see a few more of those go down. Athletic move there for Dan River, but only 3 field goals in the half's not going to get it done for the Wildcats. But Martinsville in the second quarter seemed to get it going a little bit. Here was a nice play, but a nice block. There's a defensive plays at front and center for both of these teams. There was a foul on the three-point shot, what you would not expect your senior point guard to do, but that led to 3 free throws. Good athletic stick back there by Kasim Harris. And it's been up and down, but shooting has been hard to come by for both teams. There's the nice drive and dish for the easy layup by Aaron Martin.
And you see, well, there we go again. Holland that time misses the shot, grabs the offensive rebound, puts it back up, and he'll go back to the line, showing very strong presence on the offensive glass. Dan River, it seems like their offense is so out of whack because at times they're rushing, and then it seems like they go into a stagnant offense and they don't know what to do.
Sometimes it can be a challenge. You see so many teams that play man-to-man attacking that 2-3 zone. What are some of the ways you can do that?
Well, the first thing you got to do is your passes have to become very crisp, and you got to move the ball around the horn. And it's all a matter of hit your outside shots. That's going to open up in the inside. Once you start hitting those outside shots, it'll open it up. But I heard John Wooden once say, you always start by hitting the man on the block. Go to the low post first, and then work your way out.
Hitting outside shots, that cures everything, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. Halftime here at the Siegel Center. Martinsville leading Dan River 21-12. We'll be back in just a moment.
Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
They call these sandwiches? This is a sandwich. Introducing the new Subway Turkey Italiano Melt. Tender oven-roasted turkey breast, robust Genoa salami, smoky, spicy pepperoni. When these big three meet under a blanket of melty provolone with that tangy new Subway vinaigrette, something delicious happens. Only one place to get a fresh toasted sandwich this great on freshly baked bread. The new Turkey Italiano Melt, only at Subway.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. But excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
Getting ready for the start of the second half here at the Siegel Center of the 2A Boys State Championship. Martinsville up 9 on Dan River, and Demetrius Means along with Gary Hess with you. And as we take a quick look at the keys to the game from the pregame, we'll see that Martinsville hasn't played intimidated, and 9 for 11 from the free throw line. So far, so good.
Absolutely. They've done just what the doctor has ordered, not to be intimidated, especially with Holland, and to make the free throws.
Dan River has had a hard time attacking the zone and has really struggled. That's the one key that jumps out. They've really had a hard time attacking the zone.
Yeah, they've been struggling. They're going to have to find a way to get better ball movement and get the ball inside.
Okay, let's get ready for the second half here. And it will be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Dan River may have made to try to attack this 2-3 zone a little better. Now, when Dan River beat Martinsville back in the regional tournament, the final score was only 50-46. So you can see. Now, of course, Dan Rivers had to make some adjustments. Rodney Womble, who was their leading scorer, was injured in the conference tournament, but he was out for that win over Martinsville. So they missed Rodney Womble, but they have proven they're able to play without him. Now they just got to figure out a way to get the offense on track. Here we go underway. Right in, quick shot, and good. That's how you start the second half right there if you're Dan River.
Absolutely.
The deuce for Kasim Harris, give him 5. Bulldogs on the attack.
And the Wildcats will stay in the zone. No, they'll go man-to-man.
Wildcats go man-to-man, as they have through the whole game. Same starting 5 out there for Martinsville, the 4 guards, and big Devontae Holland.
And there you see Holland just hanging around the basket, the recipient of the offensive rebound.
I believe that's going to be Kasim Harris on the foul.
There you see Holland working the glass, puts it up, and it won't go, but he goes right back to the line.
So Quantez Terry with 3 fouls does not start the second half.
Devontae Harris has the ability to have such a big breakout game. You're hoping it's tonight if you're the Bulldogs.
Two for Holland. He's got 8. Starting to get close to that double-double territory. Dan River on the attack. Foul on Bradley.
Yeah, not a good foul that time by Bradley.
That's going to be 3 fouls on Cam Bradley.
He might have to have a seat here early on.
And Devin Stone of the Wildcats will head to the free throw line. Glad you've been able to join us today on the NFHS Network. Along with Demetrius Means, I'm Gary Hess, bringing you the 2A Boys State Championship game from the Siegel Center in Richmond.
Gary, this game is all about runs. Who can make the great runs?
Second free throw, no good, and it's an 8-point game. Quickly inside, Holland, and there's another foul. I believe this one's going to go on Stone.
Holland started off backing his way down, then made the quick turn across the baseline, and it was hammered.
Martinsville will trigger under the basket. Pilson with the dribble. Kicks it out. Martinsville will reset. Dandridge. Stop that athletic man-to-man defense of Dan River. Pilson, up and under move. Too strong off the backboard. Edmonds with the clear. Passes forward. Pilson with the pick. Edmonds gets it back, though, and Stevens will drive down. Kick inside. There's the lay-in, and good to Kasim Harris.
Dan River really sloppy on that sequence, but able to get the bucket.
And now we'll set up the press.
And Pilson pushes it up court.
Pilson with the layup and good. Great body control, protected the ball away from the guy who could block the shot, and laid it right up and in. Curtis Pilson with his first 2 of the game.
He caught the Wildcats with their backs turned.
Stevens drives in, top of the key, jumper no good. Edmonds with a great athletic rebound. Gives it up for a wide open 3, and it's good, Aaron Martin.
Well, that's what he's been waiting for.
Devin Stone.
Stone's been looking for that shot since he's been in the ball game, and they left him open just enough to get it off.
Dan River getting the offense cooked up a little bit here in the third quarter. Bradley gives it to Holland, whistle and a foul on the inside.
Well, I tell you, Holland that time with good ball movement. Here you see Evans with the rebound, and he kicks it out, and there you see the big three.
Yeah, Devin Stone knew what to do with it when he got that wide open look. Inside, they get a Holland in scoring position, and he's in double figures with 10.
He went right after Edmonds that time. Edmonds another rebound.
Blocked that time by Martin. No foul call on the play. Scrum, and it'll be the alternate possession, and it'll head back the other way into the hands of the Martinsville Bulldogs.
One thing for sure, it isn't always pretty in this game.
No, that's for sure. You got to be a basketball purist to love this game. See how they attack that 2-3 zone. Martinsville's patient approach against this man-to-man.
Now they spread it out. 4 corners.
Yep, coaches on the Martinsville sideline saying, take your time, take your time. Pilson on the handle.
We're going to let him go one-on-one here, maybe.
He'll give it up. Martin back to Pilson. Overplay, and there's the steal. Nice play that time by Kasim Harris, but then he double dribbles the ball.
Oh, his eyes got as big as a meatball. He knew he had the open lane, and he traveled.
That's why he's not a point guard. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you're right. He had the highlight reel dunk in his mind.
You knew it was coming.
So Martinsville dodges one there, gets it back with a 7-point lead. Nearing the midpoint of the third quarter. And there's a great play that time.
Stone with the great defense.
Yep. I'll tell you, Devin Stone's been a spark plug for this team off the bench today. He's really provided some good minutes. Hugh Stevens running the show to Stone. Inside, nice look to Edmonds, up and in.
Wow, that was high off the glass. Not only did Edmonds elevate on that shot. Wow, looked like the elevator.
The key to Edmonds finished great, but the key there was Stone didn't hold on to the ball, caught the pass and immediately sent it inside. And now Dan River back within 5. The Dan River faithful picking up the noise. Martinsville staying under control. Pilson will attack, drives into the lane, goes to pass it, and they're going to say, yeah, he was not shooting. That's a good call by the official. Watch out. He gets rid of that ball quickly, right into Edmonds, who knows how to finish.
Such a quick release that time.
Martinsville will trigger in. Dandridge under the basket. It's going to be stuffed by Harris.
And Stone will come up with the rebound.
Harris said, don't bring that in here. And Devontae Holland tried to return the favor. They call him for the foul on the body. Great block, but he got him with the body.
There you see Stone with the rebound. And the block by Holland.
But that block, foul with the body, sends Q Stevens to the free throw line. Deep dip and a flip, and it's good. How often do you see anybody go that low in a free throw motion?
I know. I guess it's what makes you comfortable.
And whatever makes it go through the basket. I can tell you that right now. As long as you're not stepping on the line, there's no such thing as a wrong form as long as it goes through the hoop. Look at the knees crossed. 2 for 2 at the line, though. Can't argue with success.
He rattled it in.
And it's a 3-point game. Ombo has gone the Wildcats' direction. Driving in, the dish. Holland with the layup, no good. Holland was affected by Edmonds' presence on that play. And then the foul on the rebound. And Holland is limping a little bit. Devontae Holland may have come down gingerly, goes up for that rebound. Then on the second, he was definitely affected, then gets the foul call there. But that first shot by Devontae Holland was definitely affected by the presence of Trey Edmonds.
Dan River on an 8-2 run. Martinsville hasn't scored in 8 minutes. Excuse me, 2 minutes.
Holland misses the free throw. Looks like Dan River plays more people, and that could come into a factor in the fourth quarter.
Holland looks like he's a little tired there, too.
Does make the second one. 4-point game.
Timeout.
Now a whistle and a timeout taken by Dan Rivers' head coach, and we will go to break. It's a 4-point game as we're coming down the stretch of the 2A Boys State Championship on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet.
28-24, Martinsville over Dan River. Third quarter has kind of gotten the Wildcats back into this game. A 12-7 score so far here in the third quarter. But Dan River has more life to its offense here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they seem to have picked up some energy all of a sudden. And it looks like they're ready to play. And as you hear this crowd up and going crazy.
Looks like the Bulldogs and the Wildcats had plenty of fans make the trip to Richmond. Martinsville went home after the game Monday and came back today. Did not stay in town. They actually went to school yesterday.
Wow.
Dan River on the attack, trying to get closer. Devin Stone inside to Harris, kicks it back out. Hugh Stevens drives. There's a late whistle. Wow, very late whistle. And that's a foul. Curtis Pilson, his second.
Martinsville in this game, 11 points off of turnovers. Off of the Dan River turnovers.
Stevens to the free throw line, up and good. Hugh Stevens was the player of the game a year ago in the state championship win with 28 points. Today the O a little harder to come by. The unique dip and flip, and it's good. He's 4 for 4 from the line here in the quarter. Bulldogs lead down to 2. Dandridge on the dribble. Hairston drives the lane, loses possession, and they're going to say it went off of Hairston, and it's going to be Dan River ball.
Yeah, they say it went off his knee.
That went right off his hip.
Dan River's getting 7 points from their bench, as well as Martinsville. So the bench has come into play today.
Yep, Stone and Reynolds have combined 4 and 3. And there's Stone again with the dish inside to Harris. Harris misses but draws the foul.
But Gary, you got to be able to finish that shot right there. When you get that close to the rack, you must finish.
I couldn't quite see. They may have called that foul on Cameron Bradley. Look at it. There's the nice dish inside, and you're right, he missed the finish, but definitely drew the foul. First free throw by Kasim Harris is up and good.
They need a big game out of this young man. They're hoping they get a strong second half out of him.
9 points for Kasim Harris in the game.
And the tie.
It's a brand new ball game here at the Siegel Center, and Jeff Atkins wants to talk it over. 2:16 to go in the third quarter. We are tied at 28. A 9-point halftime lead gone for the Bulldogs. Atkins very unhappy with what he has seen so far.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the Wildcats have picked up some steam, and you see the confidence starting to grow. They know that the offense is starting to really get kick-started here.
Who is going to come forward and win this state championship? Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
And so are we. We are in store for a fantastic finish here. Martinsville led by 9 at the half. Dan Rivers come back to tie it. Wildcats seeking back-to-back state titles. And they've done it by turning up the wick on defense and forcing more turnovers and then finding a way to attack that zone. Get the ball, drive into that hole in that zone, collapse it, and then dish, and they've been able to get to the free throw line and make some easy baskets.
Absolutely. Dan River wants to win this rubber match. Expect Martinsville to turn it up here.
Jeff Atkins has had a talk to his team, and now we'll see what happens. At the free throw line, there's Holland, drives down. That's good defense right there. Good positioning by Kasim Harris, and the ball goes out of bounds, but Martinsville will retain. Inside, Holland again, misses, gets his own rebound. That time it's an easy basket.
Strong move on the first try, missed it, but he stayed with it for the second effort.
13 points for Devontae Holland and probably a double-double. I think he's in double figures in rebounds now too. You can see why he's the key player for this team. Dan River looking to get even again.
Got to find a way to go over the top of this zone.
Stevens, pump, gets in, still a three-pointer, but this time no good. And the rebound is hustled for and gotten by Ian Cully. Cully to Stone, the three-pointer is long, and the rebound cleared by Jay Dandridge. There's the drive. The drive by Hairston. As he falls down, it's knocked out of bounds by Dan River. Martinsville will retain it.
Yeah, Hairston was out of control that time. Nowhere to go.
Bailout that the ball went out of bounds off of Dan River. You're right, definitely out of control. There's Holland to the left and to the right. Layup, good.
Oh, that's a power move there. The big man gets it on the block, and he turns inside and puts it up off the glass.
And the Bulldogs have scored 4 straight to resume the lead. Wildcats on the attack, final minute, third quarter. Stone to Stevens. Will the Wildcats play for one shot? The Wildcats have the arrow, so we'll get the ball to start the fourth quarter. You get the feeling, you get the definite impression the Wildcats are going to play for one shot.
And they're hoping they get a good shot at the bucket to end this quarter.
getting some nice rest for Tremaine Edmonds here at the end of the third quarter. Now they'll kick the offense in with 11 seconds to go. There's the alley-oop, and it's up. Stone misses, and the rebound by Holland. 4 seconds left. Gets out the pass. Martin with the shot. It'll be good. He can count, and it goes! What a great job by Holland to get the pass forward. Martin's shot goes down, and it's a 6-point lead at the end of the third. Aaron Martin with the shot. Wow!
The Lena from deep right brings this crowd to life.
1 quarter to go. Let's see it here one more time. They go for the alley-oop with about 10 seconds to go. It's missed. Holland clears it, passes forward. Martin, very aware of the time, gets it off, and as the buzzer sounds, the ball goes through the net. You know, the crowd for Martinsville did that, countdown a little early, and I think Dan River might have been affected by that.
Yeah, it looked like that's exactly what happened. They were listening to the crowd instead of watching the clock.
So Aaron Martin now at 9 points off the bench now for the Bulldogs, and none more important than that two right there. And you talk about a great timeout for Jeff Atkins, tied at 28. The Martinsville coach takes that timeout with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and it's 6-0 Martinsville since then.
And the last thing you want is the team to pick up some steam and some confidence on a play like that to end the third quarter.
Neither team shooting the ball very well. Dan River at 25%. But after 15% in the first half, that's an improvement. 29+ for Martinsville. And, it's just a tough game. Rebounds are even. Other than it's an evenly matched game, neither team shooting well. Tough defense. Who will emerge here in the fourth quarter?
And Devontae Holland show and tell with 15 points on the day.
15 points and 11 rebounds. He's got a double-double and still has a quarter to play. Okay, Dan River will get it first, going right to left. They're the designated home team in this championship game, wearing the white. There's a long three-point attempt off the back iron by Reynolds. Stevens gets the rebound. He'll shoot from outside. That one is short. Edmonds back in the game, gets the rebound. Reynolds will try. That one's off. And Edmonds again.
And they get the third consecutive rebound.
And that means a fourth opportunity, this time driving in and drawing the foul.
That time the Wildcats really rocking the offensive glass to get another shot at the bucket.
So Devontae Holland gets the foul, his second. He's not in foul trouble. The only foul trouble, Quantez Terry of Dan River with 4 fouls.
There's your man, Stevens again.
This time it's no good.
Dan River has not been able to finish on a lot of their shots, which is so important, especially here down the stretch.
That one is up and good. So Stevens makes 1 of 2. Has 5 on the game, and it's a 5-point game. So with the lead in the ball, the Bulldogs on the attack. Dandridge will give it up to Pilson. Pilson drives the lane, hand check foul. And if that's on Terry, he's done. That's 5 on Quantez Terry. He's finished. And that was a pretty cheap foul, kind of a hand check 20 feet from the basket.
Barely touched him.
Inbounds play for Martinsville.
Travel.
Shuffled his feet. The pressure defense pays off, and Dan River gets it back. Cully, Stevens, Stone, Reynolds, and Edmonds in the game for Dan River. Inside, Edmonds, he'll kick it to the outside. Left wing 3, no good, and the rebound cleared by Holland.
Big rebound by Holland. Pilson, look at this.
Drives in and it goes down.
That time he was able to split the defense.
Curtis Pilson. He spread that offense. Occasionally you can get a lane right to the basket, and that's what Pilson was able to do.
You cannot go to sleep. They're so quick.
Stevens on the attack. Gets it back. Long three. Front rim, no. Edmonds fights for the rebound and draws the foul.
Edmonds again showing why he is so strong, grabbing the offensive glass.
Let's see what Pilson does here. Look at that.
Drives, splits the defense. A little scoop shot that finds its way home. Looked like he was serving ice cream.
Okay, Edmonds will go to the free throw line. 6 points on the game. First one is no good.
Too strong.
So it 8-1 run since the Wildcats tied the game. Bulldogs up 7. Edmonds missed them both. Holland with another rebound. Coach Atkins telling them to hold it back. And now Atkins wants a timeout. .5:56 to go. Jeff Atkins and Martinsville going to talk it over as they nurse a 7-point lead here in the 2A Boys State Championship.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
7-point Martinsville lead, 5:56 to go, along with Demetrius Means, Gary Hess on the NFHS Network with the 2A Boys State Final, and we're about to decide it. Devontae Holland had a big game today inside, but now he's handling. Look at him play point guard. Now he's stuck without the dribble.
Can't stop your dribble. Oh, look at this.
One-on-one move by Martin, gets his own rebound and draws the foul. You know, I think they've brought Devontae Holland away from the basket to take Edmonds away from the basket.
Which opens up the middle.
Right. So the foul's on Stone. And Aaron Martin will go to the free throw line.
Aaron Martin showing some dribbling skills there for a moment.
He's in double figures with 10.
Martinsville have hit their foul shots today.
That was a huge question mark coming into this game. But, you know, sometimes, Demetrius, it's a question of getting the right guys to the free throw line.
Absolutely.
So after Dan River rallied to tie it, Martinsville has resumed a 9-point lead. And there's another interception by Pilson. Pilson on the break, an ill-advised pass. Saved in by Martinsville, but it comes the other way.
Wow.
And Stevens is fouled that time by Dandridge.
That time a little bit of sloppy play by Martinsville.
So Jay Dandridge on the foul. And a 1-and-1 now for Q Stevens.
Stevens trying to make a living at the foul line today.
First one is good. He's got 8.
Just a minute ago, you saw Coach Kenny Murphy for the Wildcats.
That one no good. But a great rebound by Ian Cully, and he's fouled.
Dan River really taking advantage of the offensive glass.
So Devontae Holland gets his third foul. He doesn't want to pick up number 4. So now Ian Cully goes to the line looking for his first points of the game.
He made it look easy.
Nothing but nylon. Cully makes them both. Cats back within 6. Full court press. Hairston double teamed, and it's going to be a turnover, and it goes the other way.
And the Wildcats double team him and forces him to turn the ball over.
The helter-skelter press pays off there.
They didn't even wait. They just went right at him into attack.
Both teams will be shooting from here on out on fouls. Dan River looks to creep closer. You said something about a game of runs. That's what we've had here in the second half.
Absolutely.
Long 3 by Stevens, no good. Rebound Pilsen. Tried to go fast break, ill-advised. Got away with it. Gives it up. Slam dunk. Devontae Holland.
That'll get them going.
Great dish for the dunk. Cully drives, and it's good.
Oh, he went right at Holland that time. I can do it, you can do it, I can do it better.
Holland's got to be mindful. He doesn't want to pick up his 4th foul. Pilsen drives, loses control, throws it up off the backboard, and now it comes the other way. And now that's going to be a cheap foul at midcourt on Edmonds. Against Edmonds. The foul is going to be called, I believe, on Pilsen. Third foul on Pilsen. Edmonds will go to the line. One and one for Tremaine Edmonds, a Hokie football recruit. Big brother already playing running back for the Hokies. First free throw is good.
And here you see Martinsville will take it out. Well, they give it. Oh, there's the big dunk.
Great dish that time by Pilsen. Drew the defense, no look pass, and Holland knew what to do with it from there.
Just left them wide open. And Holland with the big rebound.
Second free throw by Edmonds is no good, so it's a 5-point game. So tie ball game, 9-point lead again for Martinsville, now back down to 5. Inside 4 minutes to go.
Oh!
A pick into the pocket by Riddles, and he'll have an uncontested layup.
And he took his traveler's checks.
And there's another steal. Stone draws the dump. They're going to call the offensive foul. He lowered his shoulder, and when you lower your shoulder like that, you're going to get the foul called against you every time.
Absolutely. He had the opportunity. And there you see, they take it out. Yep.
And there he is, lowering his shoulder. Definitely offensive foul.
And the walls come down.
These officials don't get a state championship assignment for nothing. They're good too. Holland takes the inbounds and gives it away to Dandridge, who'll handle the point guard choice. Falls down, but gives it up before he travels. Pass to Pilsen, now it's intercepted. Coming the other way is Reynolds. Reynolds draws the foul on Pilsen.
Yeah, Pilsen couldn't stop his momentum and ran right into him.
Yep, delayed dribble. 4 on him. So Cully will go back to the free throw line.
Dan River has really picked up the pace.
Free throw by Cully is good. One possession game now. Second one also good, and it's back to a 1-point game. 10-2 run for the Wildcats. Dandridge on the handle.
Oh, got away with it. A carry.
Inside, Bradley gives it up. Holland, layup, good, and the foul.
Holland hanging around the basket. Gets rewarded, a strong move that time. There you see the dump to Holland, and he goes up strong. He kisses it right off the glass, and he celebrates. He enjoys it, the hard work.
Yeah, he knew that's big. You know, the pass by Bradley was kind of down at his hip, and it took him a minute to get the handle, but then he knew right to go right to the rim. Holland with this one will have 20, and he does. So back to a 4-point lead after the old-fashioned 3-point play by Devontae Holland.
The block by Holland.
Yep, Holland with the block on Cully. Scrambles out of bounds, and Dan River will keep it.
This is going to come down to who's going to run out of time with all these runs.
Just over 2 minutes to go here at the Siegel Center. Someone very close to being a state championship. Long three, no good. Rebound cleared by Pilsen.
Seconds.
10-second violation.
Dan just kind of took his time, nonchalantly bringing the ball up court.
Jeff Atkins can't believe it.
Oh, he paid the price. A quick call or not?
I think it's a good call. Dandridge was really slow coming up the court, milking it for all he's worth. .149 to go.
Coach Atkins wants an explanation.
Jeff Atkins not satisfied, but he's accepting it because he's got no choice. Wildcats down 4 on the attack. Inside 1:45 to go. Cullen. Stevens. Stevens will trigger the three. Front rim, no. Another rebound for Holland.
I tell you, they have taken so many long-distance shots, you wonder when they're going to hit the big one.
You know, third quarter, they made a lot of progress penetrating. Gotten away from it. Now Martinsville with a 4-point lead. Foul call.
Yeah. Holland trying to fight for position down low. And they're going to get the foul call.
I believe that foul's going to go on Stevens. So Devontae Holland back to the free throw line. First one no good.
That time, the Bulldogs tried to go to isolation. They knew Stevens was too small to guard Holland.
Second one is good. Dan River needs a basket now, down 5, heading toward a minute. Ball off his foot, picked up by Dandridge. Inside, Martin right to the lane. Rebound, Holland, and he's fouled.
Oh, the big man continues to work the glass. He's giving it all he's got here in the second half. Holland going right at the offensive glass.
He went after it right there. If you look at the replay, there's the steal. And down at the other end, they went right after it pretty quickly.
And then
there's the miss. Great rebound. Edmonds was great for the first block. Free throw up and good.
That'll give Holland 22 points along with his 16 rebounds. And he has had a day. We wondered if he was going to have a breakout. You could feel he was going to have a breakout day.
And you know, it's season average, 26 points, 15 boards. That's what Martinsville's done all year.
It turns out to be not an intimidation, but a revelation for Holland today.
I love that. That's beautiful. Long three, long, no good. And it's out of bounds, but it will go to Martinsville. And with 50 seconds to go, the Bulldogs can feel it. Coach Kenny Martin telling his kids to go set up full court press.
Is there enough time left for Dan River to make a run?
49 seconds to go, 7-point game. Dandridge on the handle. Stevens will foul it. So they're going to make Martinsville make free throws. It's been a problem all year for the Bulldogs, but not today.
They have come to play, and they have risen to the occasion.
Jay Dandridge will go to the line.
Dandridge.
First one is good. Dan River hasn't scored in nearly 3 minutes. Long three by Stevens, no good. Edmonds with the rebound. He'll go right after it. Now he'll give it up. Long three from the top of the key. In and out, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Reynolds. Reynolds will be fouled from behind. Let's see who they call it on.
Gary, that's a big stat right there. Dan Rivers not scoring in 3 minutes, 17 seconds. That hurts.
Cameron Bradley picks up his 4th foul. Martinsville will take a full timeout. 23 seconds to go. 48-39. Martinsville leads it. They can see the state championship, but they've got to finish the job.
Martinsville, some of the players over there.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour Highlights of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Nine-point Martinsville lead, 25 seconds to go. You know, we talked about Martinsville in the keys to the game and free throw shooting. When the Bulldogs lost to Dan River, just 8 of 17 from the free throw line. Today, 20 for 24 from the stripe.
Wow, and 2 for 20 from the three-point range.
Yeah, that's Dan River. They can't throw it in the ocean from beyond the arc, and that's been a problem. Okay, for Dan River, first free throw up and good by Devin Stone.
Dan River, 9 for 42 field goals, 21% shooting. Wow.
You're not going to win a lot of games shooting 21%. And another rebound for Devontae Holland. And is that going to be a foul sending him to the line? So Stone makes 1 of 2. And now Holland will shoot free throws at the other end, looking to add to an 8-point lead.
He has had the game that they expected. He started off slow.
23 and 17 is what he's got now. Looking for 2 more right here.
And 2 blocks to go with it. He made that one look easy.
And guess what? Jeff Atkins has got him back next year. He's just a junior.
Good grief. Got the second one to roll in also.
As you might imagine, some D1 offers are starting to come in for him. Long 3 that time is good by Ian Cully. He's got 9 all in the second half. There's the 3 made by Cully and the quick timeout. 18.5 seconds to go and a 7-point Bulldog lead.
We talk about going on a dry spell for Dan River. It happened at the wrong time for them.
Jeff Atkins won a state championship as a player in Martinsville with a game-winning shot in overtime against L.C. Bird in 1980. So he knows what the Martinsville tradition is. The Bulldogs are 18 seconds away from their 14th state championship in basketball.
Wow, that's just unbelievable. It really is incredible. That speaks about the great coaching over the years and also the talent that they've had.
The legendary Husky Hall, of course, built that program. He's in the Hall of Fame. Tremaine Edmonds there with the foul. And big Devontae Holland will go to the free throw line again. And Tremaine Edmonds has fouled out of the game with 7 points.
Well, that young man gave it all that he could, but not much production in the scoring column for him.
When next we see Tremaine Edmonds, he'll be under the tutelage of one Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech.
He'll be playing Beamer ball.
Martinsville's playing Devontae ball today. He's got 26 now, right on his season average.
Yeah, and he gets a chance to put the icing on the cake for himself with his numbers, with these foul shots.
Boy, you know, you research Martinsville, and free throw shooting's been a nemesis all year, and boy, have they done the job at the stripe today. 1 out of 2 there for Holland. Long 3 there, no good. Holland tries to get another rebound, but that time it's cleared by Pilson. Dandridge to Holland. And the final seconds will tick away. And a three-pointer goes down for Bradley at the buzzer.
Wow, what a way to end it.
Final score, 54-43. Martinsville is the champion. The Bulldogs do it again. 14th program state championship for Martinsville. Final 54-43, and Devontae Holland was clearly the man today. 26 points and 17 rebounds. Players will shake hands. They're going to have the trophy presentation. Dan River remembers this celebratory last year, not this year. There's the three-pointer going down at the buzzer. And the celebration is on for the Martinsville Bulldogs.
Explanation mark.
The 2015 2A Boys VHSL state champions. They struggled to get the offense going for a while, but Martinsville made the plays, and that 2-3 zone defense was stellar the whole game.
Not only did they struggle, Holland really got his game going, and that seemed to get everybody else's game going. It seemed like they fed off of his game. And wow, big-time game for Holland, and they get the big win, 54-43.
Martinsville is the champion. We'll step aside. Quick break on the NFHS Network.
They call these sandwiches? This is a sandwich. Introducing the new Subway Turkey Italiano Melt. Tender oven-roasted turkey breast, robust Genoa salami, smoky, spicy pepperoni. When these big three meet under a blanket of melty provolone with that tangy new Subway vinaigrette, something delicious happens. Only one place to get a fresh toasted sandwich this great on freshly baked bread. The new Turkey Italiano Melt, only at Subway.
Okay, stay here for just a second until they start the Hey, it was great working with you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Are you doing any games Saturday?
I believe so.
Martinsville wins at 54-43. Devontae Holland, 26 points, 17 rebounds. The Bulldogs 23 of 28 from the charity stripe to get the job done. And their zone defense held Dan River to 22% shooting. Wildcats put nobody in double figures. Now let's go to the trophy presentation.
Good sportsmanship is a top priority of all VHSL programs. Our schools are united in their commitment to provide education to athletics and activities to students across the Commonwealth. We believe that through participation in VHSL programs, young men and women who participate in learn lessons will help them become better citizens. Accordingly, our first award today is the Marshall Johnson Sportsmanship Award. This award is named after Virginia High School Hall of Famer and 80 sports writer Marshall Johnson, and is presented to the school whose coaches, players, cheerleaders, and fans have made an effort to behave in a manner that is positive and has shown respect for opposing players, coaches, fans, and individuals. Presenting the award today is Tournament Director Denzel of Gosby High School. Now we have a representative of Danville High School Boys Scout Award to accept the Group 2A Boys Marshall Johnson Sportsmanship Trophy. Before we present the championship and runner-up awards, let's show our appreciation to the efforts by both teams today in the VHSL State Championship presented by Subway.
How long before I need to be back in this chair once we get off?
Today's awards will be presented by Angie Warner, Principal, Thomas Colby, Athletic Director of Martinsville High School, and Danny Turner, Mayor of Martinsville, Graham Heath, Superintendent, and Angela Downing, Assistant Superintendent of Martinsville Public Schools. And Stephen Navy, Principal of Danville High School. Assistants will be members of the VHSL and tournament staff. Personally, grown-up players from the Danville High School Wildcats. Number 5, Dylan Duss. Number 10, Juan Durant. Number 12, Bishop A. Evans. Number 20, Curtis Hugh Stevens. Number 22, Roddy Walker Jr. Number 23, Shane Edmonds. Number 24, Ian Mully. Number 30, Tyler Cassidy. Number 32, Devin Snow. Number 33, Cassie Harris. Number 34, Jabari Willie. Number 42, Jamar Anderson. Number 44, Josian Reynolds. Number 52, Cortez Terry. Number 54, Joshua Paxton. And now the presentation of the runner-up trophy to the Wildcats head coach, Kenny Murphy. Congratulations to the Danville Wildcats on a tremendous season. And now with a record of 23
the Martinsville Bulldogs, the 2015 2A Boys VHSL Basketball State Champions, a 54-43 winner today over Dan River. Let the celebration commence in Martinsville. For Demetrius Means, I'm Gary Hess. Great to have you with us. Thank you for being with us on the NFHS Network for this state championship broadcast.